Hello children, welcome to our geography session, lesson number 4, maps. So, open your books children, I hope you must have opened your books. So, today we are going to read this lesson, maps. Children, to last lesson, that is lesson number 2, globe. So, there in that lesson we have seen the importance of globes, right, advantages of globes, but however, globe it has some limitations also children, okay. With its advantages it has some disadvantages because it is so big, it is very hard to carry. One more thing about globe is, a globe it can be useful when we want to study the earth as a whole, okay. So, when is this globe is useful? Globe is useful when we want to study the earth as a whole. When we want to study the earth as a whole, that time the globe is useful. But when we want to study only a part of the earth, okay, just if we want to see only about the one country of the earth, then what we will do, as about our country, states, apart districts, towns and villages, it is of little help. Means that time if we want to study only one concept or otherwise if we want to study only about one country, one state, one district, that time globe is not useful, it is not that much useful. So, in such situation we use maps. So, a map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. So, at that time when these globes are not so useful, because if we want to study only about a particular country, that time we cannot refer globe. So, that time what we can refer? We can refer a map. So, what is a map? Map is a drawing on a flat surface about a earth, okay, a part of earth's surface. So, map it represents earth's surface on a piece of paper by drawing with the appropriate scale, but it is impossible to, okay. A map is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it drawn on a flat surface according to a scale, but it is impossible to flatten a round shape completely. Now, here we find that maps are useful, okay. For what are the purposes? Why maps are useful? So, maps are useful for various purposes. One map, it shows a small area and a few facts, okay. If you refer a one map, single map, on that only few areas are shown, few facts are shown, but properly, accurately they are shown on the maps. Another map may contain many facts, and when many maps are put together, we get an atlas, okay. When all these maps, different types of maps are binded together, then we get an atlas. Atlases are of various sizes, measurements drawn on different scales. Maps, they provide more information than a globe, okay children. Maps, they provide more information than a globe. They are of different types. Some of them are described below. So, now we are going to see different types of maps. So, first is physical map. What is physical map? So, physical maps showing natural features of the earth such as mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, oceans, etc. are called as physical or relief map. So, children, whenever you come across a map that shows the plateaus, rivers, mountains, that time you have to recognize it as a physical map. So, physical maps shows the natural features of the earth like mountains, plateaus, etc. Now, we will see about political maps. So, what do you mean by political maps? Political maps shows cities, towns, villages and different countries and states of the world with their boundaries are called political maps. And last one is thematical maps. Thematical maps, they show specific information about rainfalls, then distribution of forest, industries are called thematic maps. Here suitable titles are given on the basis of information provided on the maps. Just I will show you the picture of these three types of map, children. See, this is a physical map, okay, showing the mountains, rivers, plateaus. Again, this is a political map showing cities, towns, villages. Again, here this is a thematical map, it shows the heading, okay, title is also given in a thematical map, like here the title is Population of India. So, this is the 3 types of maps which we have studied just now. Now we will see the 3 components of maps. Okay. What are the 3 components of map? The 3 components of maps are distance, direction and symbol. These are the 3 main components. So, first now we are going to distance. What do you mean by distance? As maps are drawings which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on a sheet of paper. Okay. What are maps? They are the drawings which reduce the world into small on a sheet of paper, or we can say maps are drawn to reduce the scales, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. So, when we reduce children, okay, on map, when we reduce the scale, that reduction, like if suppose 500 kilometers we have to show, that 500 kilometers we cannot show on map. So, that what do we do? That 500 kilometers we reduce to 5 centimeter or some other units, which is easy, and this is called as a scale. So, this reduction it should be done very carefully and appropriate, so that the distance between the places is real. It can only be possible when a small distance on a paper, it represents a large distance on the ground. So, therefore, a scale is chosen for this purpose. So, to reduce this distance, what do we use? We use a scale, means measurement. What is scale? Scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Like for example, I will tell you the distance between your school and your home is 10 kilometer. So, just imagine children, if the distance between your home and the school is 10 kilometer. So, will you draw that your school and your home, will you show that 10 kilometer on the map? Is it possible? No, it is not possible to show that 10 kilometer distance on the map. So, here what you will do? Here you are going to reduce that 10 kilometer into a smaller unit. So, this can be done by, just see, for example, the distance between your school and home is 10 kilometer. So, if you show this 10 kilometer distance by 2 centimeter on a map, it means 1 centimeter on a map will show 5 kilometers, means 10 kilometers you cannot show. So, that 10 kilometers can be reduced as 1 centimeter. Okay. So, 1 centimeter we can show as 5 kilometer. We can assume on the map that this 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. So, if you want to show 10 kilometer, then you have to show only 2 centimeters. 1 centimeter on the map will show 5, for again 1 centimeter on the map will show 5 kilometer on the ground. So, the scale of your drawings will be 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometers. Thus, scale is very important in any of the map. If you know the scale, you will be able to calculate the distance between any 2 places on the map. When large areas like countries, continents, they are to be shown, then we use a small scale. Okay. See, when big countries, big continents we have to show on the map, that time we use small scale. For example, 5 centimeter. So, 5 centimeter on the map shows 500 kilometers. Okay. So, 5 centimeter on the map, it will show us 500 kilometers of the ground. So, this is called as a small scale map. Small scale map means when large areas we have to show countries and continents, that time we use, for example, 5 centimeter we use instead of 500 kilometers. Now, when a small areas like village or a district or a town has to be shown on the paper, then we use a large scale. Okay children, now Now here it is just opposite of this large, this one, okay, small scale. Here only a particular village or a town you want to show on the map. So that time what we will do? That time we use large scale, that is 5 centimeter on the map, it will show 500 meters only on the ground, and this is called as a large scale map. Large scale map, it gives more information than the small scale map. So this you have this is what you have learnt about distance, children. Okay. So next topic is direction. Direction. Most maps contain arrow marked with the letter N, correct? Most of the maps, they have N at the top. This arrow indicates us the north direction. It is also called as the north line. So when you know the north, you can find out other direction. Means when you when automatically north direction is given, then it is easy for us to find the south, where is about the other directions, or otherwise we get, sometimes we get confused. There are 4 major directions, okay, north, south, east, west. They are called cardinal points. So these 4 major points are called as cardinal points, and there are other 4 intermediate directions, they are called as northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. We can locate any point accurately with the help of these intermediate directions. If with the help of this intermediate, it is very easy for us to locate the place. Now find out the following directions from figure 4.1. The direction of community center, the playground from Vikas house, the direction of school from shops. So we can find out the direction of a place. See children, here a map of a village is given, okay. So map of a village, and they are asking you to find the directions of the community center. So here the community center it is. So this you can do at home. You have to find the direction, at which direction the community center is located. Again you have to find the playground of Vikas house. This is the playground. Then you have to find the direction of school from the shop. This is the school and this is the shop. So at which direction it is located, this you have to find. Suppose for example here it is north, then what will be down? Here it will be south, this part will be south, this part will be east and this part will be west. So you have to find out the directions and write the answers. Now we will go to, okay, now we will see about compass. So we directions can be found with the help of compass also. So we can find the direction with the help of compass. What is compass? Compass, it is an instrument which is used to find the main directions. With the help, see children, the compass, it has a magnetic needle, okay, it has a magnetic needle that always points towards north south direction. So when it points the north south direction, then easily we can find out the other directions. Now we will go to symbols. Symbol is a third important component of map. It is not possible to draw on a map the actual shape and size of features such as buildings, roads, bridges, railways, etc. On a map we cannot draw the features of some place, some features, actually we cannot draw the shape and size of some features like buildings, roads, bridges. Can we draw these bridges and buildings on the map? No, it is not possible. So what do? We use the symbols for these features, okay, for these things. So they are shown by using certain letters. Either we draw or we use some letters, or we use some colors and shades, or even lines and pictures. These symbols, they give a lot of information in a limited space. With the use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and they are simple to read. So if we give the symbol, then it is easy for everyone to read what it is given, which symbol it represents. Even if you don't know the language of an area, okay, and therefore cannot ask someone for directions. With the use of these symbols, maps can be drawn easily and they are simple to read. Even if you do not know the language of an area and therefore cannot ask someone for the direction, you can collect information from the maps with the help of this symbol. Okay. If you are going to some town and if you do not know the language, local language of that town or of that village, then what do you do? So, if suppose you are having the map and you know the direction, so it will be easy for you to locate a place in that village with the help of this symbol. Maps have a universal language and that can be understood by all. So, there is an international agreement regarding the use of this symbol. So, these symbols also, children, there is an international agreement, means all the countries they have come together and they have made an agreement that this particular symbol should be used for this particular objects. So, that there may be not others will not have confusion when they are looking through this map. So, these symbols that have international agreements, they are called as conventional symbols. So, what are conventional symbols? Maps that have an universal language that can be understood by all. There is an international agreement regarding the use of these symbols. These are called conventional symbols. So, some of the symbols are given here below. Okay. So, these symbols, the worldwide, which wherever you go, the same symbols are followed by all the countries and these are called as conventional symbols. For example, you can see railway line, they have used these three types of symbols. Again for roads, they have used this Pakka road and Kacha road. For boundaries, they have used these symbols. Okay. So, these are called conventional symbols. Post office, we can use this. Again for church, temple, mosque, these symbols are used. Various colors, even colors are given. Colors are used for the same purpose. For example, more often blue color is used for water, again brown is used for mountains, yellow is used for plateaus and green is used for plains. Now, come on, just tell me what is this, children? Can you recognize something here by seeing this picture? What is this? Yes, this is a sketch, right? We make sketch now in our drawing books. Huh? So, this is a sketch of a village and its surrounding area and this village is called as Sundarpur. This is a village, then this is a river, this is a temple, here school is located. So, all these places they have given with different symbols, see colors. This is a roadway. So, now we will go to our next topic, sketch. What is sketch? A sketch is drawing mainly based on memory. Okay? Sketch is not related to scale. Scale measurement is not given on sketch. It is just a drawing based on our memory. Whatever we imagine, that thing we draw. So, whatever we remember, that thing we draw on a sheet of paper. So, it is a drawing based on memory and spot observation and not to scale. Sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell where a particular place is located with respect to other places. So, sometimes what happens, if we want to go just to nearby our area, nearby to our friend's house, that time what do we do? So, we just ask our friend, just tell me so that I can follow your instructions. So, your friend he guides you, okay. So, from here this lane you come straight, take left turn, then right turn. So, all this imagination or memory based, it is called a sketch. If you want to go to your friend's house, but you do not know the way, then that time what happens, your friend may make a rough drawing, okay. He may make a rough drawing in a paper and he may show you the way to his house. Such a rough drawing is drawn without a scale is called a sketch map. So, what is sketch map? It is a rough drawing without using any scale, without using any units, measurements, is called a sketch map. Now we will come to our last topic, that is, and this figure 4.4, this you have to do here as a homework, children. Okay, in which direction the river is flowing, what kind of road passes by, this you just do for activity or homework. Now we will come to next topic, plan. What is a plan? A plan, it is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. So plan small area. If you want to draw a small area, just take a room, okay, or hall. So what you will do, that small area, that particular only one room, that you will draw on a big sheet of paper on a large, with a large scale. A large scale gives a lot of information, but there are certain things which we may sometimes want to know, like for example, if you want to know the length and breadth of a room, then which can't be shown on a map. Can you show the length, breadth of a room on a map? No, we cannot show on a map. So at that time this plan is very important, plan is needed. So the length and breadth of a room which can't be shown on a map. At that time we refer drawings drawn to scale called a map. So these plans, they are drawn on, they are the drawings that are drawn to scale, proper measurement, everything should be very accurate, okay, units. So here that time we refer to a plan. Now children, just we will have a look of our slides. Here your lesson gets over. So what you have learnt in this lesson, we will just have a look. Maps. We have seen what is a map. It is a representation or a drawing of the earth's surface on a flat surface according to the scale given. If you want to study only a part of the earth, that time these maps are very essential. Then we have seen, children, different types of maps again: physical map, political map and thematic map. Again we have seen, this is physical map, political map and thematical map. Then we have seen the components of map. What are the three components? The three components of maps are distance, symbols and directions. Three major components without which the map is incomplete. These three should be there on every map. Then we have seen what is distance. When the distance on a map is shown by using a scale. Maps are drawn to reduce the scale, okay. This distance is very important. Then we have, okay, this is a scale, okay, like this the scale is given on maps. Then we have seen the directions, that is cardinal direction and intermediate directions. Cardinal direction or cardinal points are four important major directions like east, west, north, south, and intermediate directions are northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. Then we have seen the compass. It has a, what does this compass has? It has a metallic point. It is an instrument used to find the main direction. It has a magnetic needle, sorry, not metallic, it has a magnetic needle that will always point the north and south direction. Sometimes this compass even you have on your pencil box, right. Then we have seen the symbols. What are the different types of symbols used on the maps? Then we have seen what do you mean by conventional symbols. They are the international symbols used by all the countries, okay. And these symbols, they have some colors also, like blue for water. So whenever you draw a map and if you want to show water, that time you have to show it on with blue color. If you want to show mountains, you have to show with brown color. Then if you want to show plateaus, you have to use yellow color, and green for plains, forest, grasses or trees. And this if you want to show railways, children, okay. So that time you have to use this symbol, railways. Then path, this is for river, this is for hospital. These are some other conventional symbols which we have seen. Again, this is a sketch, okay. Sketch means a rough drawing which is based on memory and observation. Like if you want to help your friend to locate your house, that time what you will do? You will just draw a rough sketch and you will show him where your house is and how he can come to visit your house if suppose he does not know where is your house located. So, this is called a sketch map. What is sketch map? It is a drawing based on memory and observation. Then the last part is a plan, which we have seen. What is a plan? It is a drawing of a small area on a large scale. Okay? Small area means only a small little bit, only a one room if you want to show, that too very accurate and properly. So, that plan, it has to be a small area, it has to be drawn on a large scale, and mostly it is done by by the architectures or by the engineers. They take out the plan of a plot, right? When you go for to see a house, that time what they show you? They show you their plan of their building, of their construction. So, a large scale map, it gives a lot of information, but a large scale map, it gives a lot of information, but if we want to know, suppose only a small, if we want to know only the small appropriate knowledge about a small area, like the length and breadth of a room, it cannot be shown on a map, right? So, what we have to do for such things, we have to refer the drawing drawn to a scale called as a plan. Plan of an area, it consists of details about length and breadth of a particular location. So, what is a plan? It is an area that consists of details about the length and breadth of a particular location. For example, you can say area of an house, area of a house, or area of a building, for construction of a road or of a bridge, etc. So, here what your lesson is completed. Now, we will just, this is a mind map. Okay, children, whatever we have learned today in our last session and today's session, this is a mind map, means just a rough knowledge, just in short knowledge what we have learned. So, here we have learned the three types. What is map? Okay, introduction of map. Then we have seen the three types of maps, that is physical, political and thematic. Again, we have seen the three components of maps, that is distance, direction and symbol. So, distance, again it is divided. We have learnt, what we have learnt in distance? We have learnt about small scale map and large scale map. Direction, we have seen the cardinal directions and intermediate directions, and symbol, we have learnt about conventional symbols. And lastly, finally, we have seen what is sketch. Sketch is a drawing based on our memory, or it is a rough drawing. And plan, what is a plan? Plan, it is a drawing on appropriate and accurate drawing, okay, based on the scale. So, these things what we have learned today. Okay, children, hope you have understood the lesson very well. It is a very easy lesson. Just go through this lesson. Now, we will have we will see the objectives of this lesson. Okay, take the correct answer. Now, you have to answer these questions. Come on, children, ready? Are you ready to answer this? Yes. Tell me, map showing the distribution of forest. First, is it physical map, thematic map or political map? Specific information, okay, only about distribution of forest. So, what type of map it will be? Physical? No, it will be a thematic map. Okay. So, your answer is thematic map. Second one, blue color is used for showing, yes, right, it is used for showing water bodies. Again, third one, a compass. What is compass used for? Compass is used for symbols, distance or main direction. What? Yes, the answer is compass is used to find the main direction. Again, a scale is necessary. Why the scale is necessary? Is it necessary for a map, or to draw a sketch, or to draw a symbol? What will be the answer? Come on. Yes, the correct answer is for a map. A scale is used for a map. So, just hope you have done this MCQs in your textbook itself. Children, at home you can draw this homework, you can do this homework in your rough book, that is a plan of your classroom, and show the teacher's table, or any one you can do. Draw a sketch of your school and locate the following. Second one is very easy, you can do second one also. You have to draw your school and locate the following places in your sketch. Okay. So, hope you will draw this sketch and I am going to see your sketch also. Okay. So, children, this is what your lesson was. Hope you have understood very well, and this was the first term's last lesson. Okay. So, your first term syllabus gets over with this lesson 4. So, total 4 lessons are there for your first term. So, study well, read the textbook, and all the best. So, meet you soon next in our next session. Till then, bye, see you, thank you.